Good day, everybody. I'm Pastor Matthew Cullis, and I want to encourage you to practice the presence. This Blitz is called Practice the Presence. How do you practice the presence? I know so many of us want to experience the encounter, the presence of God. And guess what? You don't have to wait for a church service. You don't have to wait for a big event. You don't have to wait for an encounter weekend. You can practice the presence where you are in this moment. You watching this video right now, you can get into the presence of God. But how do you practice the presence? 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 16 says this: pray without ceasing. How do we pray without ceasing? Is it possible to always pray? There was one revivalist that once said this: I don't pray for longer than half an hour, but there's not an hour go by that I don't pray. Everywhere you are. I mean, I've got to ask you this question. If you like me, by the way, I don't want to encourage you, you're not mad, but if you like me, do you often find yourself talking to yourself? Well, I want to encourage you. If you find yourself talking to yourself a lot, talk to Jesus. He is everywhere. Practice the presence. How do you practice the presence? Step 1, be aware that Jesus is everywhere. He never leaves you and He never forsakes you. He doesn't live in buildings and temples. He lives on the inside of us. So He's everywhere you are already. So secondly, I want to say this: once you're aware of His presence, talk to Him, speak to Him, make Him a part of your day and what you're doing. When you're in the car, speak, pray in tongues, ask Him questions. I want to tell you now, you can talk to God, you can talk to Him wherever, whenever, and practice the presence. I want to guarantee you now, if you start to practice the presence, you won't have to wait for Sunday to get into the presence of God during worship. In fact, if all of us practice the presence during the week, I can only imagine what would happen on the actual Sunday when we get together. Come on, church, I want to encourage you. Let's start practicing the presence during the week so that when we get you on a Sunday at church, man, it's a culmination of the encounter, expectation. Come on, it's awesome. A culture of His presence. Let's build a culture of His presence in our homes, in our lives, in our families. Let's go for it. Fill your car, fill your shower, fill your room, fill your kitchen, fill it with the presence of God, and watch the change happen. Practice the presence.